Connecting. All right, welcome Lifestyle Warriors to our weekly team call. We meet here every Monday night at 6 p.m. Perth time, and it's one of my favorite nights of the week because we get to hang out all together. We get to learn and grow together. And right now we're doing a GoPro series. So we are going through this book together, GoPro by Eric Worre. It's the 7 steps to become a network marketing professional. And in this book, Eric Worre goes through the 7 skills that we need to consistently work on and apply to our business that the $1 million earners are really, really good at. Now, I have said previously, this book was written several years ago, and social media and things like that are always evolving and changing. So some things in here we do a bit differently now, just because the world is so much smaller, right? To hear someone's voice now, we can just do an audio message on Facebook. We don't always have to be on the phone with people. So we can adapt it with the times. But I call it the Network Marketing Bible, because it really is those 7 core skills to work on to build a network marketing business. And we have had some phenomenal guest trainers on our team Zoom to go through each skill. And this week is no different. This week we're going through skill number 4. And the awesome surprise giver, because she shocked me last week when she walked into my house, is Mrs. Carter, as we call her, Sharon Carter. Sharon is awesome. She is, I love the color personalities. And when I think of Sharon, I just see this aura of blue around Sharon. Sharon absolutely loves to have fun. Her smile and her laugh is contagious, and you can't help but feel so awesome around her. And she's built an incredible business, has awesome customers as well. One of her customers actually gave a phenomenal testimony at our event that we had last weekend. And she's just a true product of the product and shares from her heart to help people, and that comes across in everything that she does. So with that, Sharon, I'm going to hand the call over to you, my dear.
Thank you, Belle. Thank you very much saying those lovely things. Welcome, guys. Hey, guys. I've got some big shoes to fill tonight, I can tell you. I've been swatting up like you wouldn't believe. So this evening with our chapter, I can't remember the chapter, but it's skill number 4 we're going to go through tonight. And I love this book because I write so much down when I'm reading this book. When I'm listening, I do the audio. Whereas a lot of them I don't write as much as I do on this one. So, I mean, our skill number 4 is following up with your prospects. And they say in our business, you know, that the fortune is in the follow-up. So, and a lot of people don't do that. If you don't follow up with your prospects, if you leave them a week, they get bored, they forget who you are, it's easily done. So, yeah, you need to follow up with them. And Eric Worre gives us 4 concepts on how to go through and, you know, talk to your prospects and follow up with them. But the main thing with the follow-up is doing what you said you would do. So if you said to somebody, you know, I'll ring you at, you know, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning on the dot, do it. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to trust you. They're going to think, people like people that do what they say they're going to do. So as much as we try, we must try hard. So, and he goes on to talk about meetings. If you set up a meeting with someone, also try not to be late, because I was always taught, if you're late, you're late. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're early, you're on time. And I was taught that from a young age, and my dad was a real freak like that. And I can't be late. I'd rather sit in the car 5 minutes early and wait for somebody to turn up. And in the same respect, I hate when somebody's late for me. I've got girlfriends that are constantly late, and I pace because I feel like this is my time and I'm waiting for you. So if I know how I feel, imagine who someone that doesn't know me properly feels. When I just walk in blasé, oh, sorry, I'm late. It's not a good thing. So, you know, going over that in my head a lot is a really good thing. And always respect people's time and yours. Our time's precious. We've got so much to do in a day. I know I have run around in circles some days, but you know, respect people's time. And as I said before, people respect those that do, you know, respect their time as well. So that was the first concept. Second concept, the only reason to expose a prospect to your company is to set up another exposure. So every time you talk to somebody, always set up that next meeting. You know, even if you said, oh, did you watch the video? You know, can you watch the video? What time should I call you to see you've watched it? You know, always see that and keeping the process alive. So every time that you speak with them or message with them, always set up the next meeting or message with them. So I like that. So I like the, when he says, it is a no answer, never show your displeasure. It's really hard not to do, but I really do. Never show your displeasure and always be considerate and be professional. I mean, some people are saying, you really feel like saying to someone, for goodness sake, you said you'd watch it, watch it. You really feel like, but you can't. You've got to say, no worries, when do you think you'll be able to watch it? It can really turn your head upside down. So, and then, you know, if someone gives you a yes answer, what do you say to them then? Yes, I'm interested. And some of the best questions are, what did you like best? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you right now? And when they give you an answer to that, always give them a question that they can answer that will draw you to where their pain point is. And then set up the next appointment so that, you know, you can get in. And then we go to number 3, and it tells us it takes an average of 4 to 6 exposures to get somebody onto your business. So anytime someone says no to you, it's not yet, not right now, it's not the right time. So 4 to 6 exposures. So it could be quite a lengthy process. Not everyone jumps on board the minute I snap my fingers. I wish they would, but they don't. You have to go through it. You have to go through exposure, because and every time you give an exposure to somebody, it builds that trust and friendship. You know, when they start to trust you and actually like you, not just because they like your post, you as a person, then, you know, they will. And they say to keep your urgency when it takes a while, to keep your urgency, but be patient. And that sounds like a backwards way of doing it. You know, you want it urgently, but be patient with them. And patience isn't one of my virtues, I'm afraid. It's I struggle with that a lot. I want it done, and I want it done now, but you do. And then number 4 is to condense the exposures for a better response. So a lot of people do their following up by, you know, they'll have a chat one Saturday and then they'll leave it a couple of weeks and, you know, hey, did you look at this? Hey, did you look at that? And in that time, life's got in their way and they forgot all about you and all about your products. Whereas if you condense it down and try and get the meetings, like say I spoke to somebody today, I'm going to speak to them tomorrow. And when they're free, you know, the next time after that. And then they think about it more and they're thinking about what you're actually saying to them in these little pieces, but condense it down. So that's quite a good way, because I know that, you know, sometimes if you've left it 2 or 3 weeks to speak to someone, it's like, who is this? Who are you? Where did that number come from? And then we go on to questions and objections. Objections can be broken down into 2 things with mostly it's prospects themselves with their own self-limiting beliefs. Like, I don't think I could do it. Is this for me? I don't know if I can do that. Or they have a limited belief in the network marketing industry. And that's about 80% of the population, I think, might even be higher than that. So our job is to be empathetic. So it's empathetic, that's it. Empathetic and understand where their pain point is. So they say to, if you remember the 3 Fs, not the fabulous Fab 5, but feel, felt and found. So, you know, you always say something, you know, you always feel them. And I felt this way, but I found another way. And people will respond to you. They'll come back to you and they'll always relate to your story or a story that you tell about somebody else, you know, and then you say, you know, then you can say to them, do you think this will help you? Or, you know, go that way. I love the one that says, is this a pyramid? I love that one. I love when someone says that. It gives me a great big smile and I just go, no, it's illegal and I wouldn't do that. I love that one. But that's their insecurities and their limiting belief on network marketing. So depending on the response as to whether they run a mile because you're a network marketer is whether they're going to run away. So, and sometimes it's that they've joined a company before and they've had no success in it. They didn't really like the products. They didn't have a team culture like we have. And they just got bored with it, and they weren't making the money that they thought they were promised, because you're not promised any money. You have to go out and make it yourself, you know. So try, if someone comes to you like that, it's like, ask them what their story is and why they joined network marketing in the first place, and then see if you can bring them around to our culture, the way that we do things. And at some point, you know, what's their stories. And then you can ask them, what's the reason you left network marketing? You know, you've got a story there. Why did you get it in the first place? And then they'll tell you things like, you know, my friend talked me into it. I've been a victim of that one. I got talked into some, or they've lost interest. So yeah. So it's, when you follow up prospects, it's a thing of ask questions and wait for their answers, because those answers will take you in the right direction of where you can go. You know, they can, if with ours in particular, you know, if I've got pain in my back, you can send them towards the super mix and hopefully the CBD patches later, you know. Or, you know, I suffer from headaches and they like the oil, so you give them a lavender oil. Whatever they answer, look for those little pain points, and they will actually talk themselves into it as much as you try and prospect them. And then it's the ones that ask you, how much do you make? I like that. I said, well, how much do you make doing that network marketing? Say, well, you know, I'm building a business. I'm doing it my way, and everybody makes different money depending on their effort. So our main goal, I'm getting to the end now, I'm really liking this. Our main goal is education and understanding. So, you know, educate your prospects, understand where they're coming from, not you. It's not your story to put onto them. It's you bringing their story forward and finding their pain points. So definitely education and understanding. Now I've gone through all my notes, so I'm going to ask what you lot think. Okay, shall we go in order? Oh, we go in order along the top. So Belinda's first tonight. So you can give me your point of views, and to see if if you disagree with anything I said, give me your point of view.
Yeah, no, great job, Sharon. You did so awesome. And one thing that you said that I'm like, oh, I actually heard that today on a podcast I was listening to, objections and limiting beliefs. People's objections aren't really objections, that it's just their limiting belief. So whether the objection is, okay, it costs too much, well, that's just their limiting belief because they don't see the value in it yet. Or their objection might be, I don't have enough time. Well, that's their limiting belief because we all have the same amount of time in a day today. The two things I highlighted, you did mention. One is, remember, our goal is education and understanding. It's not to win an argument. There's been so many times where I've really wanted to win an argument, like really, really, really. But I keep remembering, Belinda, you said no for 4 years. Like, I am a living example of the fortune being in the follow-up. The person that sponsored me into the business followed up with me hundreds of times over 4 years, and I kept saying no. So every time someone says no to me or ignores my message or, you know, whatever, I think to myself, you know, how many times did I ignore her messages? Like, how many times did I say, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time? Like, they're just being human. That's what humans do. It's not their time yet. When it is their time, you're going to be here and you'll be ready for them. And so, I just keep remembering you said. So, yeah, I love what you shared, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Belle. Pen?
Hi. Well
There you
done, Shaz. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, I was very much concentrated on the empathy and like what you said, and showing them that you are just like them so they can relate. And also objections can be blind spots. So if there is a blind spot, then you just offer information to get them away from thinking that that's a problem. I kind of like to look at analogies. So I see prospect, I liken it to new students starting at school. So, you know, you stand them in the hallway and you say, oh, what do you need? You need new books. Okay, here's new books. What else do you need? Oh, uniform. Here's new uniform. And so that's the same sort of thing. You just keep building all what they need. And at the end, you're right. You're ready to go now. So what are you waiting for? So I kind of had that concept in my head when I was listening to it. So that's it for me. Thank you, Shaz.
Thank you, darling. And next we have Bronwyn. Have you anything to say this week, Bronwyn?
Just going through the, objections, I guess, and I sort of read through that again this morning, and it just sort of makes you feel like more confident when people come up with them. Yeah.
When you can give them an answer and you can be quite confident in your answer, it does boost you, doesn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bronwyn. That's good.
Thank you. You did a good job.
Thank you, Dal. Carolyn.
Okay. I actually had highlighted everything that you touched on as well, Sharon. So one of the things I had was people respect a person who does what they say they're going to do, and also who values their time. So that was the first thing that I had highlighted, which you really talked about and covered pretty well, very well. And then the feel, felt, found thing I can really relate to. I think that's an excellent one. And also the other thing and this is what Belinda did with me, which I was really surprised about, but she said to me after I'd looked at everything, she said, what did you like best? And I was not expecting that question at all. And it took me completely by surprise, and I can't remember what I said. But it was a positive thing. So instead of her saying to me, what did you think? Or do you have any questions or whatever? She was like, what did you like best? And I thought, oh, I have to think about that for a sec. But that it was such a good question because it brought out all of the things that I liked, because that's what she asked me. And so, yeah, I found that a really refreshing thing that she asked me, and something that I would definitely use for myself as well. So that's it.
Yeah, and here you are today with us lot.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Good. Okay, let's move on. Have you anything to say, Lisa?
Hey everyone. A shout out to John. No excuses. He's on the Zoom, although he's out working. So well done, John. And Robin and Jude in Bali coming on in. Well done. And hello everyone else. I had that pyramid scheme one this morning, Sharon.
Did you?
And I think these days I deal with it so much differently. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, well, you've deselected yourself, because I just don't go there anymore. And yeah, so that was really the only comment that I wanted to make. And I love the thing about the education, but hey, some people just aren't ready to be educated. So this lady was English, and she spent about 5 minutes telling me how everybody had been trying to get her to join, and she named 5 different makeup companies, and so she basically talked herself out of it. Yeah, so that was interesting. Thank you for highlighting all those points. And yes, Belinda's asking, what did you like best? That is a brilliant one, and we all need to remember to use it on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, we do. We ask people, what's your favourite part of the movie?
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing when we're talking about movies and things. We say, oh, what was the best part? I can't explain my best parts on here, but let's go. Shall we have a chat with Colin? There's Colin. You're on silent, Colin. Do you want to unmute your microphone? I can't hear you.
Mute now. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Ah, that's good. Ashley, Shaz, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I can relate to a lot of things that you were saying, like be patient. I find that very hard to be patient. And yeah, I can relate to Bronwyn saying about objections. I think objections are good. It gives you a talking point and helps you to put your point across. I think the frustrating thing is when people say nothing, or when you know they're telling you lies, and people do, and I hate it. But I've got a slightly different tack too, because I don't dwell too much on the business. I try to get people on the products first and using the products for a while before go on to the business side of things. And I find that way then, if for me anyway, I just find it easy to build up rapport with that person, constantly for the first month or so, talking about the products and trying to build up a bit of rapport before actually sort of go into the business, unless they ask me about the business, and then then all you got to do is say the right things, because they're asking you, and that's always the best way. If they ask you, you know they're keen. Your job's half done.
That's right.
But yeah, there's a lot of good points came out of what you guys have been talking about tonight. And yeah, you're dead right. What did you like best? That's a good one to ask. And I never do. But yeah, very good. That's about all I can add, I think, at this point in time.
Thank you, Colin. I don't know if John's able to speak while he's driving. I think it's all in the duck. Shall we skip over you, John? Or would you like to say?
No, I can talk. As long as you can hear me, I will speak up a little bit. My apologies. Because I live on my own, I actually had to go and do my washing. The drying. So it's not actually working, but it's housework.
You still work.
I love your saying, Belinda, with being positive with people, and asking questions that have to give a positive response. I believe in that as well, because if you just open it up and just say, what did you like or did not like, they're just going to give you negative feedback. But if you, like you say, if you ask them what was the best products that you liked, or, you know, all those sort of things, by giving a positive response, they're actually telling themselves that they love the product. So that way you're drawing them in, which is a very good way of sort of doing it. I do, but we're all going to be knocked back with lots of people, and there's going to be lots of negativity. However, you've got to train yourself to see through that, and also train yourself for those responses to give positive feedback all the time, so that you're not caught on the back foot. That's going to be what I'm going to take back from this and actually train myself to do, and ask yourself those difficult questions and how you're going to answer them. That's my sort of philosophy and my input for tonight.
Lovely, John. Thank you. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, training yourself for negative answers is a hard thing to do, because especially when, you know, I only like all the nice stuff. Be nice to me. Yeah. But yeah, once you've trained yourself to think, oh, well, you know, that's what they think, and this is what I think, you know, and you come back at that positive every time, then, but sometimes they'll turn themselves around. They will think, oh, well, you know, okay, let's listen. They will do. Okay, shall we hand over to the girls in Bali? Can you hear us over there? Jude? Robin? Oh, have they frozen? I think they've frozen.
Yeah, sorry, just trying to get the mute off. There's a mozzie trying to attack me.
Oh, that's
Jude's
all right.
just raced off to get the Mozzie stuff to put on her. And I'm going to do the same. Well done, Shaz. It's
You.
take on what you were reading, and yeah, the thing is true about how it is good and what they think is good instead of telling them what you think. So what one said, but not recently. So I'm passing back to Jude, who's now got her Mozzie stuff on, and I'm going to put mine on.
We've been attacked over here, and the internet keeps coming in and out. Can you hear me?
I can, Jude.
Hello.
Hey, darling.
Oh, cool. As I was even reading through the book and also listening more tonight, this actually applies to any business. I mean, people get a thing about network marketing, but I was going back to when I started in business 20 years ago. All these things I used to do automatically, and I'm actually not sure why we have a problem when it's network marketing. You know, you were talking about the follow-up. You'd be talking about, say somebody brings up about a property or our management, etc. So I'd be talking about that, and they'd just start asking me questions before they even came to the price level or anything. And the other thing that I can always remember I did automatically without even thinking about it was setting up like a follow-up. I'll send you through the information and I'll give you a call tomorrow, and then you can, you know, we can talk about anything else or any questions, and just building that relationship with people. And sometimes I mean, even looking at that, but it might take 12 months for that person to come on board. But you built up the rapport and you just kept going backwards. And I think that's what I really got out of it, was building the rapport and setting up the next chat you're going to have, really.
Good. Thank you.
That's it from me.
I think you hit on a point there where a lot of people's limiting beliefs in network marketing, I think it stems from school, because at school you're taught to learn something, go and work for somebody, and the concept of network marketing isn't out there at an earlier age, at the school age. It doesn't compute with a lot of people. And dare I say it, all us ladies of our age, except for our baby Belle over there, she's down in the corner, we've been there and worked for the person, you know, worked for an employer in that, and to learn a new way is getting easier for us now. We just got to teach the younger people coming through, I think, for it to become more accepted. And as he said, don't forget, you are network marketing professionals. There you are. Okay, here, I know I've got an idea. So next week is skill number 5, and it's helping your prospects to be a customer or a distributor. Do we have any volunteers? Would anyone like to do that next week? Bronwyn. Bronwyn's the first hand up. Yay! Thank you, Bronwyn. So we'll have a chat if you want to. I can always chat with you. You can go through your books and have a look at skill number 5 next week for me. That's one. Thank you, Bronwyn. Appreciate that. It'd be great. I'm looking forward to it. So now I'm going to hand over to Belinda. I think I've taken enough of your time now. So we'll hand over to Belinda for the finale.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Let's everyone all give Sharon a big round of applause. She did amazing. And my internet mustn't be very good, because it kicked me off and I had to dial back in. And so I missed most of what Jude and Robin said. So I'm going to have to watch the recording for that. The recording has kept going, which is good. But yes, awesome, Bronwyn, that you're going to do next week. That is fantastic. One other thing that I wanted to say, based on what Carolyn was sharing about me asking her, what did you like best? It's something that I have always said. Like, I don't want to hear negativity from anybody. Like, I don't want it. So if like a lady that I've recently given a sample box to, I messaged her, and instead of saying, oh, how are you feeling? Or what do you like? Or this, I'm like, how are you loving Supermix so far? because I only want a good answer. And so I always, as John said, position my questions so they have to answer me back positively. There's a show, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I love renovation shows. And there's a show called House Hunters where they go and look at 3 houses and then they get to decide out of those 3 houses which one they want to buy. And when the real estate asks them, what do you think of like this house that they've just looked at? Always do they say all of the negatives first, and then you think, oh, they don't like their house, there's no way they're going to buy that one. And then they'll say the positives, and the one they were most negative about is usually the one they end up buying. Because as humans, that's the first thing that comes to mind, what we don't like about something. And so definitely get into the habit of what did you like best, or how are you loving Moringa so far, or how are you loving Limitless, or whatever it is. Make them give you a positive response, and then that gives you something to go on. And then you know how to move the conversation forward. So tonight, I quickly wanted to share something I have been working on, and to share as well some different things I've been working on. Every now and then I get into like content creation mode where I can see a gap that needs filling. And something that I've always done in my business is there's 4 to 6 things. I used to call it 6 things, but we've cut it down into 4 because 3 of those things are really within 1. And so we've called it the 4 daily essentials. So this is specifically for if you're wanting to use social media to build your business. I know all of you know that is how I build my business. So you can take this and apply it anywhere, but it's specifically for social media. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys in a second. And I'm also going to be uploading this to our team page. So you'll be able to see it in there and download it. But it's the 4 daily essentials. Now, yes, it's pink. Yes, it's about girl bosses because that's who I am and I made it. So you can print it out in black and white if you don't like pink. So the 4 daily essentials are, number 1, be a product of the product. And the photos represent how I've used those daily essentials to share on social media. So being a product of the product, obviously my before and after photo, but it's drinking Moringa every day. Story yourself making it every day. And I don't mean, here's my Moringa, I'm going to have it, it's got 92 nutrients, blah, blah, blah. I'll just stand there and make my drink. I don't even talk about it, and just talk about what I'm doing that day, or how I slept that night, or what I'm excited about that's coming up. Sometimes I don't even talk. I'll just do a boomerang of me shaking it. But if you don't share that you are a product of the product, people aren't going to trust you that you have any knowledge in the product. Take a selfie with it. Share your results, create curiosity, and educate people on health, on wellness, on why it's important to supplement, so that they see you as an expert. The next one, and I was so impressed with what John shared. John, this is one of the, I think the first team call you've been on, and what you shared was absolute gold. But the second daily essential is personal development. And as John was saying, guys, like we're going to get objections. We're going to get people tell us no. We're going to have people tell us that we're crazy. We're going to have people, going to the witness protection program, and for no other reason than it's just not their time yet, right? And unless we do personal development, and unless we work on our mindset and train ourselves to think better, we are going to allow those objections and setbacks stop us from going after our dreams. And so personal development is so, so, so important. If you're not into reading, there's Audible, there's videos on YouTube, there's so many different things, there's podcasts. If you don't want to pay for Audible, listen to podcasts. If you're not sure what podcast to listen, post it in our team page and ask for people's podcast recommendations. There you can access so much personal development everywhere now. So you're going to want to do it daily for yourself, but then what you're learning, share that. Share your takeaways with other people. add value to other people. Most of the content I come up with for my social media about mindset and how I've transformed from being super shy to being able to, you know, be on a Zoom. Like, my camera would never have been on previously. I would have just had my picture up, and it probably would have been a picture of my kids and not a picture of me. I've had that growth because of personal development. And so I share how I've done that through what I've learned. Quotes I come up with are usually from a personal development book that I've been reading. It's allowed me to evolve, cut out negativity from my life. I highlight things, I take notes. And so that is one of the most important daily essentials. So you can see the first two, being a product of the product and personal development, are really about our own looking after ourselves, right? We need, our most important job is to look after ourselves, because if you're running around like a hot mess, you always look like you're running around with a, you know, chicken with your head cut off, chaotic, not knowing what's going on, you always run into the ground and you're always so busy, no one is going to want to join you, because nobody wants chaos. Right? So looking after yourself is so important. The next one, which is attract, connect, invite, I originally had as 3 separate things, but have put it into one, because this is about sharing your story. So when you share your story with other people, whether that's in person or sharing your story on social media, you want to attract the people, right? If I'm sharing about loving the color pink, and that I'm a boxer mum and I'm a homeschool mum and I love my chai lattes and all these things, I'm not going to attract a 90-year-old chess player, right? Because that's not my avatar, that's not my audience. Like attracts like. So unless you're sharing your story, you're not going to attract the people that are going to resonate with you and want to partner with you. And so share your story, you're going to attract people. But then it's about connecting. You've got to connect with them and build relationships. But even that's not enough. To learn more about the products, to learn more about the business, to learn more about, it could be personal development, to learn more about what Moringa is, to learn how they can, you know, just expand their mind on how they can have their own business and change their circumstances, how they can go from being a night owl to a morning person, right? That's all about adding value to people's lives by building those relationships. So inviting daily, following up, which was our topic for tonight, right? Sharing the community. Like every Monday night on our Zoom, I'll do a little boomerang. I've already done it tonight and I've posted it to my stories. Team Zoom night. People that know me know, don't ask Belinda to do anything on a Monday night, because it is her team Zoom night, right? So share the community that you're a part of. One of the things I love most about network marketing is our team, is the friendships I have made, the connections I have built. That is one of my most absolute favorite parts. There are so many people out there that feel alone. And them being a part of a community, that's what's going to change their life. The Moringa is going to be awesome. The income opportunity is going to be awesome, but it's going to be the community that transforms them as a person. So we want to share that. Give people a sneak peek into who you are and what you do, what to expect, and share the lifestyle this has created for you. And that's not about just money. That's about how Moringa has changed your life, because we're all drinking Moringa, right? It could be, oh, thank goodness I don't forget my keys anymore, right? Or I don't want to put my kids to bed at 2:00 in the afternoon anymore. Like, I can actually get through the day now without turning into Nazi mum. So all of those things fall into attract, connect, and invite. And then the fourth one is celebrate, which is really recognition, shout outs, sharing other people's stories, and just calling people out and saying, you know what, you've done a freaking great job. Like tomorrow I'm going to be doing a post about the calls that we've done so far and shouting out the people that have contributed to those calls in the last few weeks to add value to our team. And then at the end of the 7 steps, I'm going to do another shout out for the rest of you guys that step up like Bronwyn is next week, because that's all about celebrating community, celebrating other people. If I just talk all the time about my own transformation and how awesome I am and how awesome my business is and all of those things, then people are going to just be like, okay, Belle, well, good for you. You obviously can't help anyone else get those results because you only speak about yourself all the time, right? But when I'm celebrating other people, they know that, oh, okay, so it's not just Belinda, it's other people that are having success. It's other people that are enjoying Moringa. It's other people that feel awesome being a part of this community. And achievements, obviously, to do with the business, to do with, transformations with the products and all of that. But if, as a bare minimum, you guys focus on these 4 daily essentials every day, I guarantee you it will move your business forward. It will move you forward. Even to the very point of what John was saying, you concentrate on doing personal development every day. The next person that gives you an objection, water off a duck's back. It's not even going to get to you. Whereas someone that does not do personal development, the first person that tells them no, they quit, they give up on their dreams, right? It's all of these things that work together, these 4 daily essentials, and it's daily. It's not every Wednesday or every other Sunday or a result. It's committing to these 4 daily essentials every day. I promise you, you will see your business move forward if you do all of these things. It's not just about attracting people. You've got to connect with them. You've got to invite them. It's not just about being a Zija member. It's about being a product of the product. It's not about having all these books up on the shelf if you're not going to read them and then share what you've learned to other people and celebrate your team and the success of your customers and everything like that as well. So I'm going to upload that PDF into the team page. So you can save it on your computer, you can print it out, you can do all of the things with it. And here's a few other things I'm working on. So I actually recorded it today, but my internet was so bad that when I watched the replay, I was like a robot and like pulling all these weird faces. So I'm going to have to record it on my phone instead. But I have created some slides on the Zija Impact Rewards plan. Because for those of you that either were here at my house last Sunday or watched the live broadcast, one of the biggest messages that I have received is people loved how I ran through the Zija Impact Rewards plan, the 5 ways that we get paid. So I made a slideshow out of it and I'm going to film a video. It takes, I think, about 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm going to upload that into our team page as well and put it on my YouTube channel. So if you ever have any prospects or team members that have that question, that's going to be a quick 10-minute video that explains it to them in a really, really simple way. So I'll be recording that maybe tonight or tomorrow. And then the next thing I'm going to work on is a Getting Started Right training. Now, this is going to be a great refresher for anybody that wants to sort of relaunch their business or reset to make sure that they're focusing on the right things. But really, it's going to be for the brand new person that maybe been using the products for a while. Carolyn has been on this call for the last month, 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks maybe. Carolyn was a customer of mine for 3 months. She loved the products so much, she wanted to start sharing them and do the business. And so you might have people that are your customers right now who next month, the month after, tomorrow, can get these products paid for, or I want to start sharing them with people. So we never know who our next member is going to be. And so I'm going to make this video so that they know exactly where to start. Like, what does a brand new person need to do? What do they need to focus on? What actions do they need to take to be able to build their business? And not not just, you know, social media type of ways, but as an example, Lisa rang me today because one of her team members hadn't set up their Paylution yet. And so I walked her through how to do that. So in the getting started video, like that will be one of the things that I go through, like sharing my screen, show people how to set it up. So a brand new person can just go and rock it, right? But my vision for that Zoom, so that's going to actually be a recorded call that everyone can just use at any time. My vision for that though is to do that once a month, that getting started right call once a month, so that all of our new team members that have started in the last month plug into that live, and then there'll be a Q&A session at the end. So right now it's just going to be a recording, but as we grow, I will be doing that once a month for people to dial into live and ask questions, which will be super, super, super fun. So before we wrap up, does anybody have any questions about anything that we've discussed on tonight's call, or anything else that you would like to ask while you have us here? I'm going to leave it for 30 seconds, and then if no one asks anything, we'll wrap up. And give me your feedback on the 4 daily essentials as well. If you love it, I don't want to hear if you don't. Tell me what you liked best.
Well, I'm going to say something. I love the 4 daily essentials.
Awesome.
What the value that I get from what you give me. So my days are busy, my mornings are busy, my day's busy, my night's busy. But the fact that you've broken it down into those 4 pieces, and that you're positive about saying concentrate on those and your business will flourish, that just gives me so much hope, and it's really simple for me. So yesterday I had a massive day of studying, and I got quite anxious about it. So I sort of had a mindset that wasn't fabulous. But then I posted tonight about how gratitude can help with anxiety, because yesterday I sat there thinking, to change this, I have to be grateful for what I've got. Anyway, within a minute, I had 2 people message me saying, I love what you just posted. And so I'm connecting that to the 4 daily essentials of sharing what I'm going through, adding value to people. So love it, love it, love it, Belle. Thank you so much.
Like, of course that's going to happen, right? Of course. You start being grateful, and you know, you start getting, in my previous business, it was all about putting ads out. You had to put, you placed ads, people would fill in their information on your website, and then you would call them for an interview. And I would literally sit at my desk, refreshing my emails, like just waiting for the next lead to come in. And it was always the days that I would pick up the kids, get out of the house, go and have fun, and just be so happy and grateful for what we have, that I would come home and my inbox would be full, because I was in that state of gratitude every single time. So I love that, Pen. That's awesome. Anyone else before we wrap up?
Thank you, Shaz. You did an awesome job.
Thank you, Pen.
You absolutely did. All right, I'm going to leave it 20 seconds. I don't know if it's my internet, but you guys all keep freezing. So I don't want to cut anyone off if anyone is trying to come out. No, we must be all good and ready to implement everything that we have learned on tonight's course. So you guys have an incredible, incredible night, and I will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to go upload the 4 daily essentials right now, record the comp plan video, and when that's all done, I'll upload that too. So have a good night, guys, and I will see you all soon.
Thank you. Bye.